Before we begin our meeting, we would like to acknowledge that Stewiacke is in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I'd like to call to order the committee of the whole meeting for the Thursday, September 11th at 7 p.m. And we have our regrets from Mayor Glasser this evening, while others are in attendance. Are there any changes to the agenda presented? Councillor Osborne?
Like to add under 14 personnel matters.
With that change, can I have an approval?
I'll make that motion that we accept the agenda for our committee of the whole session for Thursday, September the 11th as amended.
Moved by Councillor Osborne, second by Councillor LeBlanc, sorry.
It's okay. I can call it worse.
Sorry, discussion?
Question.
All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Any disclosure of interest on agenda items? Hearing none. We have no minutes for approval for this session. We have no announcements or proclamations, no presentations, and no written petitions and correspondence. So we will move right into 9 business and staff reports. 9A is the CAO report.
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, I wanted to start with the public works report. I want to welcome Vicky to our team as the new manager of capital assets and bylaw enforcement. Lisa, did I pronounce your name correct?
Vicky, yeah.
Vicky, okay. So with that, Tom Arnold's remaining as the water plant supervisor. Gary Fisher remains as the public works supervisor, and they will all report into Lisa as she started her duties last week. The team responded to a water main break last week on St. Andrews Road. Lisa's going to work on some provisions with our contractors and reaffirm the call before you dig, and doing some locates before we work on any grounds around the roadways. Pertaining to drought conditions, just a reminder to residents that although cooler temperatures have arrived, our area has not received the rainfall necessary to bring the water levels back up in the St. Andrews River to suitable levels to feed the water treatment plant. We're not in any dire situation at the moment, but we only have about 6.5 inches of water in and around the gallery of the river right now. So we're monitoring that as we have for the last couple of months, and we're asking residents to still maintain their eyes on just conserved water where possible. We'll monitor that situation. And as an update to council, in August, we monitored this all the way through. We met with Department of Fisheries and Oceans. We met with Department of Environment. In case we required it, we did come up with an emergency plan for the river. This is a drought like we've never seen before, and we did receive permission from Department of Fisheries and Oceans and Department of Environment to dam the river in and around the gallery on our water treatment plant if we had to come to that emergency provision. What we did from a staff perspective is we did buy the damming equipment, and we have it located at the water treatment plant. We've got permission until October 15th to put any emergency provisions in that we would need. We haven't needed that so far, but we will monitor it. And we will have the plan in place for the future of the materials there should we need it if we encounter another drought like this. Hoping that we don't need it, but all the plans are in place if we do. Okay, moving along, just in regards to fire ban and trails. So this afternoon, we received some good news. The trail ban and entering the wood ban has been lifted for our area. So Erin Richards and Lisa and her team together, they've got the public works team to remove all the barricades to our town trails. They're now open as at 4 p.m. today, but we're going to remind the public that the fire ban is still on. There are no exceptions to burning. Please be diligent and do not burn. Next update, the water treatment plant project. Just as a commitment to our residents, we'd update them on capital projects. The water treatment plant, we have in August, we submitted the application to take water to the Department of Environment. That is to take water from the well on St. Andrews Road. The Department of Environment review process is underway. And staff have now started the design RFP that will be issued for the design of the water treatment plant, and that will be taken on by Lisa and her team. Paving projects, all paving projects for the season have been completed. The lagoon desludging project, work actually began this morning, and Lisa is starting to monitor and take over that project. They're on site working on the desludging of the lagoon next to the ball diamonds. Just a reminder to the public, please steer clear of any construction projects. There's safety provisions in place to make sure people are staying out of the sites. But please stay away from any equipment or any work that's happening. Community development, Erin, do you want to take a community development update?
Sure. Few updates, we've hired 3 staff members for after school program and so far it's going really well. Final revisions are underway with the regional team for the equity and anti-racism strategy and our plain language version of that as well. Recreation programming will start at Waddy River at the end of the month. Our asphalt pad is a great addition to our area. Kids are using it for after school. We had about 25 children per day at the summer day camps. We are doing the costume swap again this year in October with the County of Colchester and Divert, Nova Scotia. The splash pads last day is tomorrow, closing off at 7. And Public Works has been great in removing some of the old and damaged pieces in the playground. That's part.
Thank you. Next up, fire updates from Chief Crozier. Fire responded with 26 calls in the month of August. We've already talked about it, but just a reminder from the fire chief, burning restrictions remain in place, so please be diligent and be responsible. And for fire, just the fall dinner and dance tickets are now on sale from Stewiacke Fire. The event's going to be happening on November the 22nd. And the last update regarding fire, town staff, we've placed some no stopping, no turning signs at the entrance to the fire hall. The fire chief and the volunteer firefighters have noticed a lot of traffic coming into the parking lot, parking in the area and disrupting any access potentially that we need for emergency vehicles. So reminding the public that that is a entrance and a parking lot only for members of the Stewiacke Volunteer Fire Department, EMS or emergency responders, and or town staff responding to the building. So please steer clear. RCMP, the cameras again, we've notified the public cameras are up at Dennis Park. We've still noticed some vandalism happening in the area. It will be reported and videos will be turned over. And we have noticed some aggressive driving happening within town. We've talked to the RCMP and they will be doing speed traps. So just giving the residents a heads up, you're going to see an increased activity level from RCMP along Main Street as we've asked them to increase patrol at speed traps. Committee updates. We have been publicizing applications for town committees. We extend until September the 30th. The council procedure and policy will follow to review the applications. We'll make appointments prior to November of 2025. So those reports will be going to council respectively for discussion decisions in October, with the committees being named at the end of the. And that's an update. Happy to take any questions.
Any questions? Councilor Osborne?
Couple actually. One regarding paving projects. I had a couple of residents reach out to me earlier regarding Asquith Avenue, kind of like where the V is from the tracks to Asquith. Just wondering if we can have a look at that and maybe, if possible, get it repaved this year. If not, at least get it pole patched and smooth it out. It is quite rough. And where we've got a nice smooth Asquith, and then we've got nice smooth, you know, everywhere but that one little tiny section. I'm just wondering, look at that and possibly get that.
Sure. Just from a staff perspective, we have received that comment and feedback. Lisa has been assigned to take a look at that. We'll report back with any options that we can do.
Perfect, thanks. And then just one other about the speeding. I'm just wondering if you're looking at St. Andrew Street as well as Main Street.
Great questions. We specifically, the complaint came in about speeding down Main Street coming from St. Andrews that way. We can definitely direct the RCMP to look at St. Andrews, but the comment was made pertaining Main Street. We'll have a conversation with RCMP.
Yeah, St. Andrew Street is quite becoming quite the racetrack.
I was gonna mention Kitchener Street in that conversation with the RCP. And particularly around Tower up to the school. Just, paving. Out here on the sidewalk that we just had done. There's two, indentions. So when it rains, the water pools. And I'm wondering if when the weather changes and it freezes over, and then it snows over. Somebody walking along the sidewalk could very easily slip and fall. So.
I don't know those, so I raised my hand and just like, that's something that came to my attention and I started looking at that today. We've already got pictures. And that's already on my schedule.
Okay, good enough. And I do have a question, for, Aaron. Can I ask why we're turning off the water for the splash pad on Friday as opposed to maybe Monday?
May I? No real reason, staff time particularly and low temperatures.
I was just saying that maybe children might want to use the splash pad on Saturday and Sunday. Monday would have been. Okay, that's, you answered that. Kitchener Street, St. Andrews. Take it to room, good to go.
Any other questions? Maybe motion to accept that.
It's just an information
Yeah.
report, so there's no motion required.
So moving on to 9B, which is the appointment of bylaw officer.
Okay, so 9B, in accordance to the. Bylaw authority or provisions within the town, we need a council resolution to do so. Lisa, as our new manager of capital assets and bylaw enforcement, we're recommending that council appoint Lisa as the manager of capital assets and bylaw enforcement as the town's bylaw enforcement officer. That's the motion that is put on this 9B for council to consider.
Any questions or?
I'll make the motion that we recommend to council that we appoint Lisa Bakey, manager of capital assets and bylaw enforcement as the town's bylaw enforcement officer.
Yep, moved by Councillor Osborne. Second. And second by Councillor Woods. Discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. 9C, water tower capacity maintenance.
Thank you. So for council, I believe it was the July meeting, I brought this information forward. I had suggested we might be able to be back in August to report on it, but we did some more time to work with the province. Based on the grant funding that we had to ensure that we could utilize some of the funding towards this project. We noted that in June, the town engaged Atlantic Integrated Water Utility. They made a number of observations and recommendations for us. One was to proceed with cleaning up the water reservoir, doing some maintenance. The report in front of council provides that the scope that they were recommending was to bypass operation, draining the tank, do some sludge removal, pressure wash and brush clean the floor and interior steel panels, reseal damaged many steel sheets, work on some exterior panels, work on some areas that had some corrosion, and work on some fascia and metal at the top of the tower. So with that in mind, staff followed the procurement policy. We issued a RFP or tender for the work. We received one bid for that work, and it came in from Aquastar Canada in the amount of $125,820. That funding envelope fits in with the $2.5 million that we received from the province. The town committed another 2.5 for a $5 million funding envelope. And we've received permission from the province to fit that into the scope to utilize the fund to pursue that. So with that, the recommendations are in front of council. Happy to answer any questions.
Councillor Russell?
Just the company that bid, is that the company that we normally deal with, like that we've been dealing with all along, or is this
So-
new?
there's predominantly. There was predominantly one company that did water towers in our area. My understanding is they split years ago, and there are two companies that do water tank work in Atlantic Canada.
Okay.
This one has done work for us before, and I believe they are the original supplier of the water tower. So they know the equipment, and Lisa's nodding her head, so that's I'm right, but they know the equipment, they know the inside and out of that facility.
Okay, sure, thank you.
Any other questions?
When's the work gonna start, do you know?
So the work would presumably start this fall. We've got some maintenance work to do in the water plant building before that work can begin, and Lisa's team is working on that now, so within this fall.
Any questions?
I'll make that motion that we recommend to council that the water reservoir maintenance tender report be received, and we also recommend to council that we award the water reservoir maintenance tender to Aquastore Canada in the amount of $125,820 plus HST, and that we recommend to council that the mayor and CAO be authorized to execute the agreements for the water reservoir maintenance contract.
Moved by Councillor Osborne,
Second.
second by Councillor Lutz. Discussion. Yep, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. And 9D is grid funding.
Yes, so grid funding, so the province just released new funding envelope. It's the Growth and Renewal for Infrastructure Development Program. It's basically to support investments in priority municipal infrastructure projects that address critical capacity issues, build more accessible and adaptable communities, and enable the preservation and expansion of services to support housing. So with that, the funding, the program may provide funding for 50% of eligible projects through an actual cost sharing agreement. Eligible recipients include municipalities like the town of Stewiacke. Eligible costs are for engineering services and project management, design as a standalone project, construction, inspection, and administration. Staff are recommending that the town proceed to put an application in for design funding and for your project management, construction funding. We still need time to assess what we need the money for and what the budget will be, but what we need is a council resolution to approve that we put a funding application in for the project. We will report back. However, at this time, our recommendation is with the priority number one project being the water treatment plant. We're gonna get Lisa and her team the funding that they need to engage the professionals we need to start the design process for the water plant. So we will report back with more information, but we just need the resolution for the province to say that this is our priority project.
Any questions, Councillor Osborne?
Two very short questions. When I looked at the funding list, is this one that's has a deadline like by the end of the month?
The deadline, I believe, is early October.
Okay,
Yes.
so there's another funding stream that I looked at where you put in an expression of interest, which we may want to look at, and I think that funding deadline is the end of the month, and then in October, if your project is chosen, then you can provide more details. But there's a couple of that just came out today from NSFN that we might be interested in, kind of if we can piggyback on them and get more funding, that would be.
I did see that
Ideal.
email, and I will
Yeah.
look at that. If you could pass the ones along that you
Sure.
seen, we'll take a look. And then we'll have to factor in any stacking rows that would apply.
Yeah, and I don't think they do when I read through it, so which would be wonderful.
Any other questions?
We'll make that motion that we recommend to council, that council authorize staff to make an application for eligible costs associated with the design, project management, construction, inspection, and administration of the town's new water treatment facility project, and that staff report back to council with details of the application.
Moved by Councillor Osborne, second by Councillor LeBlanc. Any discussions? All those in favor?
Right.
Opposed? Motion carried. 9E, senior socials, and we'll put it over to Councilor LeBlanc for this one.
I did ask the council, advise the council, I would like to make this motion to reestablish senior social times for the month of January, February, March. And a total cost of $600. I move that the council endorse the use of $600 from the existing community development budget for the purpose of adding 3 senior socials for the month of January, February, March of 2026.
Putting a motion on the table,
Yes, motion.
moved by Councilor LeBlanc. Or do you have a discussion, please?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Okay. Councilor Liston?
So are we looking to have these at the church?
That is up to the recreation community committee.
It's up to the recreation committee?
Yeah.
So are you sending this back to the recreation committee?
Yeah, that's where it needs to go. It's up to the recreation committee where it's held. I have no problem with it being held at the church to the end of the fiscal year.
Just asking for clarification.
Any other questions or discussion on that? We do have a motion on the table from Councilor LeBlanc. Do we have a second or?
I second it.
Okay, second by Councilor Lutz. And discussion on the motion?
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm just looking for clarification. If this motion is to provide the funds, but yet Councilor LeBlanc is saying that he wants to send it back to the recreation committee. I'm not sure how this motion works.
After talking to Aaron, the money is available. So where it's held, I do not know, but to me, that's not my decision.
Through the chair, I'm just seeking clarification.
I don't know what the clarification is. Do you have any insight, Ms. Richard?
If I may, we talked, Councilor LeBlanc did come to me and there is some savings from the summer to result in this coming out of the operating budget for that. Not recreation committee per se.
Okay.
Yes, just staff's operating budget.
If I may.
Yes.
I would be of the opinion that I don't believe this needs to go back to the recreation committee. This is an existing budget line that we found savings in. The budget has been approved. I don't believe that the recreation committee needs to be involved in 3 senior socials, finding where they will be. So if the motion goes forward, I think we're approving that this is moved forward and Erin and her team can program it as they do.
And thank you. That's the clarification I was looking for, because when I heard Councilor LeBlanc say to go back to the recreation committee, this did not make sense to me.
I'm confident in the motion, if council passes it as written, to make this happen.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor?
All right,
Opposed? Motion carried. 9F, strong mayor powers, and that's Councilor Osborne, over you.
Okay, we all received an email from our CAO regarding the strong mayor legislation that's coming up, and we all received the memo that came out from the Association of Municipal Administrators. I guess I asked for this to be put on the agenda simply so we could have a discussion. And where we are going with this, if, you know, as a council, we'd like, you know, a letter sent to the MLA. Simply, that's all that I was for, an open dialogue on how people feel about strong mayor's powers.
Do you have any discussion on it, or anyone like to? I do have a thought, Councilor Osborne. or
Well, I mean,
You would like,
my personal thought, I've already spoken to the MLA, as I know the mayor has, as the mayor has also encouraged all of us to. I think I think strong mayor's powers, depending on what the legislation, how the legislation's written, could potentially be detrimental to, any counselor around the table. I think, I mean, I would like to hear from my colleagues and see what they have to say.
We'll go around the table. Is there any thoughts, Councillor LeBlanc? Any thoughts or?
Well, my thoughts are. It's a Halifax regional issue. So I have a separate thing with the province, they're chartered. On the other side of the coin, I do have to agree with Councillor Osborne. This may place more authority in the hands of the mayor and take it away from the council, as well as the CAO. So there could be, some discussion, and so on, the information that was provided, if I remember correctly, it wasn't a problem for all the councils, but it was a problem for some of the councils. I forget where it's in here now. So, up here it is here, so. Of the municipalities in Ontario, 76% of the mayors directed staff to prepare the budget. So I'm interpreting that they continue to do it the way they've been doing it. So the problem becomes a personnel problem if it becomes negative. So a mayor may decide not to use the CAO or the staff to set a budget. So that's the danger that I'm seeing.
I don't understand why they're putting them forward. I mean, I don't understand the benefits. I don't see the benefits, especially not for our community. Yeah, I don't understand how it fits with us.
If I may speak again.
Absolutely.
Perhaps I shouldn't be saying Halifax region, but I perceive there's some kind of conflict within the administration. And that doesn't pertain, just because there's conflict between in administration doesn't mean change legislation. And there's obviously with some of these 70% of the mayors that there was, so. I'm happy with the current rules. You can work through your conflicts.
Your thoughts? Before I speak again.
From my understanding, I can't see how it would be beneficial. I think it could be extremely detrimental to give too much power, I guess, for lack of a better word, to one individual and one individual only, which is how I'm almost interpreting this. So I will reach out to the MLA with my thoughts on it as well, but.
If I may, I think currently, Councillor Blanc is quite correct. Currently, it is an HRM issue. However, my understanding from reading everything that I've been able to, and it's similar to what happened with the planning. We were told as a council that it was only an HRM issue regarding planning and housing. It then became a province-wide. And so I suspect that that's what's gonna happen here as well. It's not just gonna be the HRM charter, it's also gonna be the MGA that will be opened up and amended. I think personally, if we look at sending a letter, a collective letter, especially to support our CAO, I would hate to see our CAO leave because of strong mayor's powers. That's what's happening in some other municipalities around this province. And again, in my opinion, we have a really good relationship with our CAO, and I would hate to see that. Erode to the point that our current CAO leaves. So I'm not sure if anyone else is in agreement with sending a letter to the MLA as a collective, or if you just wanted to do it individually.
I'll support them.
Yeah.
Okay.
That carries them all.
Alright, so I'll make the motion then, that we recommend to council that a letter regarding strong mayor's powers be sent to MLA Scott Armstrong. Outlining our desire to maintain the MGA the way in its current state.
Moved by Councillor Osborne,
Second it.
okay, seconded by Councillor Lutz. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no bylaws and policies this evening, and citizen comments. There's a couple people here.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, I'm grateful, Aaron, that you, and your team have managed to, find some savings over the summer to, fund what appears to be 3 more senior socials. I'm a little disappointed in the motion itself, and that it doesn't really speak to what the petition requested, which was a full restoration of funding. So that was the intention, being that the same level of money that was spent on it previous year be provided to add to her existing budget, to take away from. So like I say, honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in that provides for 3 senior socials, which is, it's a far cry from what we were doing the last couple of years. But I guess it is what it is. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything? Anything online?
No, there's nothing in the chat. There's 6 participants online, nothing in the chat.
We have the mayor report. We'll move on to councillor reports, and I'll start with councillor Osborne.
I have nothing tonight.
Councillor LeBlanc,
Thank you. I too have nothing.
good. Councillor,
I have nothing.
I also have nothing. So, that was quick. All right, so I guess with that, we will need a motion to go into camera.
I'll make that motion that we move in camera at 7:32.
Moved by councillor Osborne,
Second it.
seconded by councillor Lutz. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thanks, council. Thank you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And the
Thank you.
I'll see you soon enough anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
See ya.
Doesn't matter.